Hi, everybody. Welcome to Athena After Dark. I'm glad you joined me this Monday. It is going to be an exciting show. I have a house full of mad Frenchmen. Yes, everybody who could come from out of town after Bike Week, after Biketoberfest, guess what? They're here. Tonight we have a fantastic guest, a good friend of mine, Christian Travertson. He is an engineer extraordinaire for sure. And we're going to kind of go through a few little segments and we're going to get right to it because there's a lot of good stuff. And he brought a bunch of motocross racers from France. So we're going to bring them all in at the end and laugh and giggle. And we're going to do this live tonight. This is our first live guest in the studio. So thing one's doing pretty good. If I don't fudge this all up, we should have a good time. All right. So shout out to everybody watching. Thank you so much. Everybody who always follows, always grateful for that. And yes, we are going through some changes. We're doing little bits at a time. Anything that you want to see or, suggestions that you have, positive suggestions, that is, please email them to athenaafterdark@aol.com. Coming up, we have the High Seas Rally, October 29th through November 5th, and also at the same time, the Lone Star Rally in Galveston, Texas. So if you're around either one of those, you're doing that, check out the Cycle Source crew. Say hello to Chris Callan on High Seas. Say hello to Heather Callan at the Galveston Rally. Her and her sister are going to be there, so super cool. Both good events, so you get a chance to attend, do it. Okay, so we're going to skip Fan 5 Good Things tonight. I promise I will do them just this next week because this week, like I said, we have a really good guest, and we're going to go through this live and see how bad I mess it up. But we are going to do the Ask Athena question. So, I started something when I started a couple weeks ago with the chick I gave her advice on her man, and then last week. So it's just fitting out of the questions that I got. I had to put this one up there. So the young lady, Kristen from Paducah, Kentucky, she wrote in. She says, I cook, clean, and I'm pretty good at taking care of things in the bedroom, but can't seem to find a guy who wants a real house mouse. Can you put me in contact with Bart from last week's show so maybe we get a groove thing going? I'm 5'6", 126 pounds, a brunette. I've included my digits. Please pass them on. Okay, I'm not a matchmaker. Hopefully, because you two are looking for the same thing, I'm going to go ahead and shoot your number to Bart. I don't want to be responsible for any good or bad that comes out of it. Just saying, okay? And no, we're not going to do this regularly. But I'm going to play into the fun of it all and say anything and everything's usually, I'll try anything once, twice if I like it. So, okay, we'll go with that. So, yes, Miss Kristen, I will pass on your information to Bart. And hopefully you two can geographically meet up somewhere because I think you're really not too far from each other. Let me know if it's fun. Anyways, you two, Bart, let me know. I like to get both sides of the story. So okay, um, so this week's guest is a gentleman who, excuse me, have my hot chocolate tonight. Oh, cold. It's like 30 degrees in Chicago. I am scared to death. They told me we're going to be able to put boots on this weekend, like 60 degrees. Us Floridians, we freeze at 60 degrees. At 40, the lizards fall out of the trees, the big iguanas. That's always fun to watch. I'm a very humane person. Thing one goes out and gets them with a fishing pole and some line, and he humanely euthanizes them, yeah, because they're a nuisance here. We have, yeah, they're an invasive species. Is that what it is? Thing one is a plethora of information tonight too. So, anyways, all I could say is, anyways, we'll keep going. Um, so tonight's guest, I've known him since the middle '90s. We all worked together in a motorcycle shop called US Steel, and it was Don and I. Chopper Nick, who's here from Albuquerque. Yeah, it's friends out of town here. My house is full. There's like 10 guys out there. So if you hear background noise, that's what it is. Don being the host with the most. So he showed up at the motorcycle shop looking for a job, and he had just come from France. He showed up with a little doctor's bag and said he was a machinist, and all the guys laughed at him. And can I tell you, he went in with a hacksaw blade and a file, and he made something for them, and they're like, okay, you've got it going on. Fast forward, he's done incredible things. He has a motorcycle called the V-Rex, and thing one's going to push a button. This one's pretty good. So that is a Travertson V-Rex. He built that, designed it, made all the parts. Fantastic motorcycle. And I got a side shot of that there. Yep, that's good too. Um, thing one's pushing buttons. Okay, there's the primary on it. Fantastic motorcycle. So he has more too. If you go to travertson.com, you'll see he has I believe that one is the Striker. It's like a 3-wheel. Oh, I guess kind of like the Slingshot, but really more stylish and cool, I say. And then he has the Spark. That's the new one that's coming out. That looks really cool too. I'm interested to see that. Okay, so Christian built the MTT bike that you saw in the movie. I believe it was Bad Boys. It had the helicopter engine in it. He built that. Wow. I've seen him build some crazy, incredible things. He built the MTT bike. He built the V-Rex. He designed all of that. He's done some incredible stuff. Just recently, I believe in the last couple of years, he took a Sportster and went over Black Bear Pass out in the desert, which I guess really isn't get done by a Harley too much. He was a dirt bike racer growing up, and we're going to ask him a little bit about all that. Phenomenal. He actually designed an armored car that C4 wouldn't stick to. And I also got a chance to see a really cool, like bulletproof glass. It was made out of spider web. It was incredible. I mean, he always astonishes me. And he's my backup too. Don wanted to work on a project I was doing, and I let him do some passenger peg mounts. And it was pretty funny because Don said, "What do you think?" And I said, "Gravity, that won't work. You got to use triangles. That's not going to work." And he was not happy about hearing that. And Christian came over probably about 2 days later, and he said, "My friend, what do you think about this?" And Christian looked at him and said, "My friend, don't you know what gravity is?" And I didn't laugh at him. I was just very happy that, he backed me up. I can say now that was when Don had just picked up a welder. He is an awesome fabricator now, thanks in part to Christian and Grampy and others too. All right, so we're going to shoot out a text because he's out there. They're out there bullshitting. Anybody who is going to be around in December 11th, we have our Palm Beach toy run. It's pbtoyrun.com, and it's Bill's Bikes, where the Marines come and they collect the toys. So when it's snowing down there, 30 degrees in Chicago today, boy howdy. So, well, I guess I'm going to send thing one out to get them because they're obviously not paying attention. Don's too busy talking. It's okay though. It's Don. We know. So, and I want to say too, thank you to everybody who wrote in for my birthday and said happy birthday on Facebook and everything like that. I appreciate it. Christian. All right, sir.
How you doing, guys?
This is my good friend Christian Travertson. So we were just talking about your incredible talent that you have going on.
She's a liar.
I am not.
She's a liar.
You are an amazing engineer. When we first met, Don was telling the story earlier about the little doctor bag when you showed up at US Steel and they all laughed at you.
You have to start somewhere.
Who's laughing now, though? Not any of them, right? That's for sure. So, what are you working on now?
Actually, I'm working on new technologies. Today, the world changed, and computer help a lot to develop new stuff.
Right.
So today we don't machine anymore the parts that we need to create, but we also 3D print them. So basically, instead of taking a block of material and carving it, machining it, you take powder of that material and you fuse the grain of powder in the shape that you want. So what's the advantage? Then you can create anything you want. For example, you can make a ball. It's empty on the inside.
Okay.
That you cannot create. Right? And today, for the last, I would say, I start in 70 to draw parts, and you draw with your pencil.
Right.
So you have the drawing table, you have the rulers, and you do the math, and you take your pencil and you make the freaking drawings.
Right.
But everything is flat. The computer bring you the 3D. So now you can make different drawings, put them together, and you can make and visualize your world, the parts that you made it in front of you. Fantastic. But that's still your mind designing and using the computer as a giant memory, a giant mirror to see what you think. It's here, and you can share. You can say, "Look, that's what I did." You don't have to explain. You can see it.
Right.
So that's the beauty of the computer.
Okay.
So now we are on a phase a little bit different where you don't think that much, and you can be a freaking idiot and say, "I need to make a part who's gonna be connected to this, is gonna be connected to that, is gonna receive a load of so many pounds, it's gonna have to twist a little bit, and you need to weigh about that much, and what else? Whatever you want." So you describe in the computer what do you expect. Enter. The computer take all that wish list and mathematically design the parts for you. So I was freaking floored the first time. We call that generative
Okay.
design, meaning it's generated by mathematics. My first shock was that what's going to come out? I mean, what that guy can do. And the magic thing is that when you see a structure made by the computer, it looks exactly like the inside of a bone. And I was floored. You know, when you see the inside of a bone in a computer, microscope,
Right.
it looks like a sponge
Yes.
with webs in every direction. It's exactly like that.
Wow.
And what struck me is like, so nature use mathematics. Makes sense.
Makes sense.
Same result. The bone, you're going to load the bone with your weight. It's wish list. To react to that, you need to design this. Nature design reacting to the load. You do bodybuilding, your body going to react. Your body going to generate a new body. Your genetic going to generate a new body to go ahead and lift
Handle
weight.
that load.
You understand?
Right.
The guy who play tennis is not really made the same way that the guy who do whatever. So this is adaptive technology. So today we start to design in a different way, and the computer is the guy who's thinking for you with mathematics.
And you do all that now. Like
Yeah.
you actually, because I know you did SolidWorks, and you started, like you said, drawing things on the paper.
Back then, yeah, the undo button was a razor blade.
Okay.
So when you made a mistake, you had the razor blade and you scratch. And you, of course, go through the paperwork. So you take the thing and shut, and you do it again. Today it's undo.
Do it again. So, when I know it was probably about 15 years ago, you were working on an armored vehicle.
Yeah.
And you made it so that the explosive, if somebody wanted to stick it to it, it wouldn't stick.
We did a lot of stuff back then because it was a lot of requests.
Right.
And the most James Bond trick that we had back then, we developed some. It was a problem. 2003.
Right.
It was a problem in Iraq because everybody was landing in Baghdad airport, and they had to travel to the green zone. So they had Suburban, black, brand new, shiny, taking the people from airport to the green zone. But those trucks, cars, whatever, they were target. So one a day was killed. So we had the request to develop something to protect them. So there is two ways. You put someone in a freaking safe. And when you put someone in a safe in an armored vehicle, you have to expect that that armoring is going to work very well. Because what they do, they box the car or the truck or whatever, 5 cars, 6 cars, so you can go anywhere. And now you are a sitting duck. You cannot reply unless you have a tank, unless
Right.
you have a big weapon. So what we did, usually when you see armored vehicle, there is always tiny windows. Why? Because that's the weak link. Windows is glass, it's more fragile
Mm-hmm.
than steel. So we think that and we say, okay, if we need to have an armored vehicle, it need to be active too. Meaning if someone box you, someone want to destroy you, you have to be able to reply. So we designed some windows where nobody can shoot you through that window, meaning the bullet gonna be stopped. But from the inside, you can shoot that.
That was the piece that we saw.
Yeah.
That was
So yes. So basically, it changed the armored passive vehicle to an active vehicle, but nobody can see. Meaning, when you look at this bus, whatever it is, you can't imagine that somebody can shoot you
right.
because it's an armored vehicle. And there is no cannon, there is no nothing. But the guy on the inside are ready, and they can take the threat away very quickly.
And I was astounded to find out what it was made out of.
It's mostly glass and plastic. So it looks like magic because how a glass can stop something on one direction and not on the other direction. So the best way to explain that is that the glass was made with two different materials. One very hard glass and one very soft plastic. Two different jobs. The glass is hard, it smashes the nose of the bullet, but it breaks. And because it breaks, it's just let the bullet go through it. Now, if behind that you put a polycarbonate, which is a soft plastic, it acts like a baseball gloves. So all that smashed glass and that bullet come at very high speed. It break the glass about that big, but all those pieces of glass and the bullet get catched with the polycarbonate and go back in place. So that stopped the bullet. Now you shoot from the other side. The first thing the bullet gonna see is that soft plastic. So the bullet penetrates the plastic, touch the glass, break the glass, but behind the glass there is nothing. So that piece of glass which is now broken can go. So your bullet goes with it.
Wow.
So the surprise we had was that the glass was actually a weapon, meaning because it's like elastic with that polycarbonate in the back.
Mm-hmm.
If someone come to the window and shoot at the window, that glass, that tiny fragment of glass, get broken, tension the polycarbonate,
Mm-hmm.
come back in place very fast,
Okay.
like a spring, and you see a jet of glass going back to the face of the guy.
Wow.
And usually he's blind because it's very high speed and it's tiny fragment that goes everywhere.
All over.
So we were like,
That works, right?
accident, but a good one.
Hey, sometimes those are the best ones.
Happy accident.
So recently, I think in the last couple of years, you did something with a Harley Davidson that most people don't dare do. Now, you used to race dirt bikes,
Mhm.
right, growing up. Now, that was in France.
There were, all over
Because
Europe. I used to
Christian is
do,
from France.
no,
Couldn't tell, right?
I'm faking it.
He's looking for an acting job. He's got his accent down.
So yeah, I was racing bikes, motocross bike for from '76 to '94. Went all over Europe to do 125, 250, and I did the African rally, enduro. I tried everything on a motorcycle, but on the dirt side, not on the road side. Before I got the wheelchair, I said I have to do something to play again on motorcycle. So last September, I built a Harley, a Sportster, modified, of course, where I was able to go in the dirt. I was able to ride for 300 miles, and I went from Miami to Portland by dirt road. So it took me 4 weeks, but it was paradise because I saw America like you can see it from the road.
From the dirt roads.
Yeah, because middle of nowhere.
Didn't you go up Black Bear Pass on a sports?
Down.
You went down.
Yes,
So that's something that isn't really done very often.
it's not something you do with a Harley. It's like I don't know, saying
Now you
I'm gonna go downhill, ski downhill with a black backpack full of stone. It's pretty stupid, but I loved it.
Then you did it, and
Yeah.
it was successful. You didn't get hurt. You
No,
didn't.
no, it was not racing, and it's impressive. It's more challenging for your mind
Mhm.
than it is technically.
Okay.
Meaning, jeeps goes there and go down.
Right.
So if the jeep goes, I'm going. I mean, everybody was telling me, "Are you freaking retarded with a Harley with your bag and all that stuff?" I said, "You're gonna go bada boom, 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 bada boom." I said, "No way." So Black Bear Pass is very impressive because it's high, and when you come in, you have a piece which is only rocks, and you see that giant hole who says, "Come,"
Oh my goodness.
and it's very impressive. I have to admit that you say, shit, if I go, not coming back
Okay.
because the track is pretty narrow and you have those turn, like this. So
Yeah.
when you go here, you're facing the hole.
Oh, shit.
And he's still telling you come, and you don't want to go. But so it's a maybe 15-minute downhill. The first part is the most impressive one. After, when you get in, after they become okay. But that was a fantastic experience. I loved it.
Now
I cried when I saw the Pacific Ocean. I have
after your trip.
no shame to say,
Yeah.
my friend, at the end, the last 100 miles, you go, what the fuck it is? I mean, I can see on the GPS that blue line. I'm saying, I'm there. Oh, make a left, make a right. And all of a sudden, blue Pacific Ocean.
Yes.
So I put the bike on the kickstand, take the helmet, and I'm like, yes. And I go on, I see my friends. I went with my neighbor
Okay.
because I told the story to my neighbor. I said, hey, I want to do this. And he went, I go with you. And the guy is a warrior. He's from Romania.
Okay.
And his name is Florian. Hi, Florian. And Florian said, I'm buying a bike, I go with you. So with you, I go everywhere. And that guy, I trust him.
Okay.
He can come, I go with him everywhere. That guy, you have a fire, you have a flat wheel, a seized engine, and you cut your arm. He's going to say, don't worry, I have the tape. I have some oil, we're going to fix it.
We're gonna fix it.
It's a positive action.
Yes.
It's not like, oh my God.
Right.
Oh my God, never.
No, that
It's
doesn't
like,
work.
okay, hold on, we'll fix it.
Positive.
So
is
that's
always
the
best
correct
way.
attitude.
Yes.
And that's the correct guy you want with you.
Yes.
So we did this, and we arrived over there. I took the helmet, like I said, put that, and I looked the sea, the thing, and I'm Florian, and I'm like, where is he? He disappeared. So I'm looking all over for him, and we are on the cliff. So there is a cliff, and now I'm like, shit, maybe he fell.
God,
We
hope
went
not,
that
right?
far, and he. That's weird. And I look all over, and I look a little bit on the side over there, and I see a guy on the beach, but it's far, it's like 200-300 yards. And I look and I say, but that's him. And I see someone on the beach with his heel like this on the sand. I said, what is he doing? So I walked to him and I looked and I started to pin my pants. He was carving on the sand, and
Oh my goodness.
I have the
end.
video.
That is cool.
I swear, I'm exhausted, tired, laughing, of emotion, of we did it, we did this, and we did that, and all the stuff. And I see this guy carving in the sand, and the giant end. That was so fun.
That's awesome. That's
so
and
fun.
that's that thing. It's that reaction, that positive reaction, because he was positively stating that we finished this. I'm tired. Time to go.
And the guy is a ride motorcycle, but he's not. He doesn't have the level of
Experience.
driving. I mean, he's not a racer,
Right.
but
He did it anyways.
and I will prefer to go with someone like him with his mind and
Mhm.
not experienced driver than someone with a lot of experience as a driver
Mhm.
and a freaking dickhead.
Yeah.
Excuse my
That
French.
knows everything. Right.
You understand?
Exactly. Oh yeah.
So mindset to me is the key. If you want, you will. If you think it's impossible, it's not possible. You just said it.
That's right.
So make it happen and go for it.
That's for me. I tell my kids growing up, my dad always told me, try, if you look the word try up in the dictionary, it means to attempt and never succeed. So if you remove that from your vocabulary and you do your best,
You don't try, you just make it.
you do it. You do your best all the time. And however it turns out, same thing with can't. I can do anything.
Yeah.
It might turn out shitty. It might turn out really great, but I can do anything.
And
All
you
it
learn
takes
from
is
it.
the effort to do it. You have to get up and do it and think you can.
And when you fail something, you have to reaction. You can fail and say, "Oh, you see,
You got to learn
it's not.
from it.
It's I can't do it."
That's a
Or you
lesson.
say, "Oh, I failed because
Right.
fucked up here. I did that here." I say, "Okay, let me do it again."
Right. The
Nobody
lesson.
succeed the first time. Rocket ship,
Yeah.
boom.
Yes.
Let's see.
Yes.
So that's how we progress. We think about something. We can be good. We can be 100% in. But if you are 99%, that's fine. You're gonna learn the last little bit.
Yes.
Make it go.
Yes, definitely. And that's positive.
Yeah.
And that's why we like positive stuff.
Yes.
That's why I'm glad you're here.
Yes.
This is so awesome. Okay, so we're gonna ask you some questions. You ready?
I don't like that.
Okay. All right. So
It's impossible.
what do you have coming up? Anything that our viewers can watch out for? We have your website up there on the up there, so they can view that. Your V-Rex came out. You have a couple models of that, and then you have the it's the Striker. I like
No,
that.
yeah, actually, it's just design because I was on parallel to the motorcycle. I was doing engineering. So the motorcycle is the passion side.
Yes,
of me.
I know that about you.
So I put the two together and I made that VRX bike.
Mhm.
I did that for 10 years. And Harley Davidson stopped the production of the V-Rod. So I can't get the motor anymore from Harley Davidson.
Okay.
So the choice was, okay, I'm going to make another bike with another engines. Or my business was also shifting in the engineering side.
Okay.
I developed some tooling for aircraft engine manufacturing and
Because you do aircraft, aerospace, all that stuff. Yeah.
And lately with the 3D printing, a 3D printing process it's a long process. It's still a shortcut beside against the machining, but there is a lot of stuff to do post process the printing. So you can print a part, but it's not done. You still have to make a hole, tap it, whatever. And the most critical thing is take the powder, the unprocessed powder out of that part.
Okay.
It looks easy, but it's not.
Okay.
Because if you design something which is now very intricate, because the computer can, you make let's say a carburetor. Everybody know
Right.
It's a very complicated part.
Yes.
So there is a bunch of pieces together. A screw, you can open this, you can open the ball, you can see the jet, you can change the jet. Or let's say we do one piece, that carburetor. No bolt, no screw.
Okay.
It won't leak. But when you machine it, when you print it, the ball will be full of powder of steel unwelded.
Okay.
How do you remove it?
I see.
So that's a very big problem that came with the progress. You can do this, but there's a catch.
So now you have to find the solution, which you're very good at that. That's what you
So
do.
what I did, I designed a machine that removed that powder.
Oh, cool.
So now my job, my business shifted from making motorcycle to feed the industry with tools that they need.
That's how we progress. That's how we make things better, more sturdy.
Correct.
Help to
Correct.
keep everything the way it's going. So, all right. Well, I have good questions. So, first question: dogs or cats?
Cats.
Cats. Okay. All right. Apples or oranges?
Apple.
Hotel or camping?
Both.
Both. I get that a lot. It depends on where they are and what kind of mood they're in.
Yeah.
Whether your back
let's say
hurts
the
or
first,
not.
like on our trip, the first 2-3 nights, let's do camping. And when you start to smell that, hotel. So I would say both. Yeah, I can do camping, but to a limit.
Okay. Slow, fast, or faster?
It's not fast enough.
See, now that's the best one so far. I think one agrees with me. That's the best answer for that one so far.
Speed is it's cocaine. It's pushing your limit. It's Speed is, I went 283 miles an hour on a motorcycle in 1 mile from wall to wall on the airport. And I knew I was able to go fast. What stopped me is that there is a fence, there is no left, there is no right. There is that French fries color at the end, and he comes fast at you.
Oh shit!
But it's a thrill.
So you built a really fast motorcycle too. You built that MTT bike with the helicopter engine in it.
Yeah.
How fast did that go?
In theory, 266, but nobody brings that bike to that speed because at that speed, your back tires start to slip.
Okay.
Because you fight against the air. It's like someone pushing
Pulling
against
you
you.
back.
So the tire with the power try to go and you start to lose traction.
Okay.
So the fastest I went was 237. Exactly.
Holy crap, Ola. Okay, so how long have you been riding?
Since when?
Since you started?
15?
15?
Yeah.
And started on dirt bikes?
Yeah.
And then you raced.
I raced
motocross?
Motocross, enduro, supermoto, African rally, Barra.
And you held some titles too, right?
I was champion 79.
Champion in 79. I love that. That's fantastic. And you brought some friends tonight that we're going to bring in a little bit and introduce them at least because they're racers too, right?
So basically, last week, one day, out of the blue, I received an email from a guy. He's here. And he said, I need some specification and I'm interested in a VRX. And I'm looking at his name and I said, I know this guy. So I reply and I recognize him, because it was in French and there's no two guys with the same name. So I sent him a picture with a glass of rosé saying it's ready for you and I will give you the specification of the bike. So come to visit me. And that was in 2011.
Okay.
And I did not see him since 81. And he came last week with another friend, another racer, that we used to fight. I mean, like warrior, because when you are racing, that's it. The guy is your buddy in the pits. As soon as you are on the starting grid,
right, forget it.
You want to kill him.
Right.
You're going to go over his face. You don't give a crap. You want to win. So that's the kind of mindset those guys have.
Your son is also here too.
Yeah. So they came here and we spent the last 10 days and I bring them to Daytona, to NASA, we went all over the place. So we had a blast.
I imagine.
And today we are with you.
I love it. And that made my day. I am so excited because this is our first you're our first live in studio guest.
Good. See, I'm number one again.
Always. Well, you're always.
I like it.
You know that. Okay. So, let's see. How long have you been working on motorcycles? I guess since you were 15, right? When you started.
I think my first moped was not fast enough, so I started to put that thing in pieces and try to get, faster than my neighbor.
Souped up the moped?
Faster than
I
my
almost
neighbor.
Forgot that mopeds existed. I remember that.
Yeah,
that was pretty funny.
I was going to school in my moped, but I have to be the fastest.
It's too funny. Okay, so what is your favorite motorcycle to ride, and what is your favorite route that you've ever ridden?
I think there is several spots where it was magic.
Mm-hmm.
Magic is the desert in Africa because you have to be very humble and you realize that you are not that much bigger than that piece of sand that you're riding on.
Right, very small part of
because your life is can go either way very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I got lost in 87 in the Sahara Desert for 4 days. And back then we had no GPS. GPS was existing, but it was not allowed to have a GPS. And so you have to go with the road book and you do your own route.
Right.
So what you do, you have in a rally, they tell you have to go at the control of passage, which means checkpoint.
Okay.
So they give you the map on the morning for the day, so you can study.
Okay.
So if you are stupid, you say, you look at the map and you say, oh, hold on, like, it may be shorter. You have no freaking clue where you're going. But you look at the map and you said, if I go here, maybe I can make 5 minutes. So you make your own route, but you know you're going to have to go to that checkpoint.
Okay.
So I did. Said I'm going to go through. It was called the Zagora, the gate of Zagora, the gate of the desert, Zagora. It's at the bottom of Morocco, east of Morocco, just on the border of Algeria, and that's the Sahara Desert. So I had a Kawasaki KX 500 two-stroke, and I'm in the desert, and I'm like holding ass, and my engine seized.
Oh shit.
So you stop. You have the map. You open the map and you go. So no big deal where I am. I open the map. It's yellow, and there is only curves. There is no name. It's like, where is the city? There is no city, stupid.
You're in the desert.
Yeah. So now you start to realize, and you can't say, well, the next guy I'm gonna tell him because you said I'm gonna cut, I'm gonna be faster. So you just did bang in your foot.
Oh my god.
So you start to walk, you say bye-bye to your bike, and start to walk and keep walking. You have no freaking clue where you're going because you're walking to the work. Life expectation 2 days. So you try to not think that much about that one. And back then the rules were today also you have to have 2 liters of water in your bike.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody realized that 2 liters of water gonna keep you alive for half a day, maybe in the desert. But 2 liters of gasoline can bring you home.
Shit.
So what do? You go to the control technique and you drop the water and you put gasoline that you cannot drink when you are stuck in the desert. Correct? So that was another bang. So I walked pretty much the whole day expecting to see something. And I think I'm lucky, thanks, love God. I saw a black dot away. And I'm like, what is this? And you start to go cuckoo. I did something pretty smart. I kept my helmet, goggles, gloves, everything, so my skin was not exposed.
Okay.
Because the air is so freaking dry. It's just sucking the moisture out of your body.
Right.
So I kept my equipment. So, I was sweating, but everything was contained.
Mm-hmm.
And I go on top of a dune, see the dot. In my mind, it's a stone, something like that. Go down in the dune, go back. The dot moved. What is it? So your mind goes like, what is it? It's life, something.
Right.
So I try to catch it, try to run. And it takes forever. And motocross boots are not really made by Nikes.
Okay.
So, and after half a day, there is, 5 pounds of sand here, 5 pounds of sand there. So it's very hard to walk in the freaking sand.
Yeah.
And my luck was that the black dot was a bear. It was a farmer from the desert on his camel who decided to stop and have a tea.
Wow, someone was
So
watching.
I was able to go to his house, which was a 2 square meter mat.
Okay.
And he was just sitting like this. And that photo, that image relaxed me because I said, you see, stupid, you are scared. And this guy is in the same situation than you. He's got his carpet, the camel on the kickstand, and he's got his tea.
Right.
And I went to his house.
That's so cool.
That was magic.
Yeah.
He gave me tea, and I told him the story. He was speaking French because Morocco was an old French colony.
Okay.
And French, kind of. And because I'm a little bit stupid, I told him, we're asking instead of, doing this to the cat, I'm not moving, I'm staying with you.
Right.
I asked him the road, where I can go. He said, if you go that direction, ta-da-da. He gave me some oranges.
Okay.
and orange. That's what saved me. And I went on the back of his camel. Yeah. So the freaking irony. My sponsor back then was Camel.
Your sponsor
Cigarette.
was Camel cigarettes.
So I was all yellow, Camel cigarette with the Camel, and I still have all that, by the way. I will send you some photos.
Yes, please do.
Picture of the. I have actually the everything because I kept it, and I was on the back of the Camel, you know, and I was looking myself, Camel, and I said, there is no freaking nobody can take a picture of that.
No, the irony
It was a
of this,
fantastic,
right?
fantastic. So this guy bring me to a track, and he said, "Here, you're gonna see, people." And sure enough, there is a guy with a moped coming. My ass was destroyed. That Camel is a brick, a brick. I mean, motorcycle was not, very comfortable. A race bike, but a freaking Camel.
That was not a good
That
ride.
thing has a bone in the back. It's well. Get out of the Camel, talk to the guy on the moped, and I tried to buy the moped. And the guy, he was a young guy, he was maybe 15 years old. And I showed him the money and I said, I buy the moped. And he goes, what you want me to do with that? In the desert, that's not how they live.
Oh,
Money,
money
give me a
doesn't-
chicken.
Money doesn't matter in a place. That's crazy to come across a place where money really doesn't matter.
Don't give a crap.
That's awesome,
What do you have for me?
right?
That can embellish my life. But money, I don't know what to do with. So I said to the guy, I need to go to a city was called Alnif. And he said, okay, go on, the rack. The rack.
Yeah.
Not a new moped, talking something who was from, So, in fact, I changed my mind. That Camel was very comfortable. I mean, with the boots, no foot peg. You have your legs like this.
Right? Yeah, you're just saying.
3 minutes. Your boots are
Dragging
all
down the
around,
road.
and he's telling me, right? Hey, you're
Pick up
dragging,
your
you're dragging, and I'm
feet.
like, I can't. So we did like 40 something kilometers. I was freaking broken in half, and he bring me to another spot where I find another guy from the rest. I mean, on and on and on and on. 4 days later, I find back the team I was with, and I was a ghost because back then they look for you for 2 days.
After that, they call.
After that, they say, "It was a nice guy."
Nice guy.
Good old
So that was my story.
What was your favorite motorcycle? What's your favorite out of all the motorcycles you've ever ridden? What's your favorite motorcycle?
I like them all. That's the problem. Every bike has its purpose. My favorite right now in what I have is a 1976 KZ 900.
Okay.
So the why is because when I was a kid, so I go back then, I was 15, 14 years old, and one of my neighbor, I was on my bicycle, and every day he was starting and going to work with his KZ 900, and I was like,
I want
it
that.
was a spaceship.
Right.
And I never had that bike. And 2-3 years ago, I find one pristine condition. I say, I have to have it. So I have one of those, and it's like, I like it. I have my old race bikes. I like all the bikes. They all have something different.
Everybody
I don't
says
like.
that.
I don't like crush rockets.
No.
They don't do anything for me.
See, I'm not a fan of that type of sitting on a motorcycle. I do like the Ducati. I think the Ducati's
Yeah, for 5 miles, it's a nice bike.
I've never ridden one. I mean, like more than around the
Yeah,
test
I mean,
track.
I don't like.
I'm a Harley girl. You know that.
Yeah, I know you. I had once a Phaser, an 86, something like this. What I don't like is that engine screaming at you all the time.
Okay.
When you are like, riding,
Can't stand it.
60, 70 miles
Big
an
one's
hour.
laughing. He thinks that's why he's like, "Oh, these two are something else."
60, 70 miles an hour, and you have that thing like a
it's
coffee
singing.
grinder.
Yeah, it's singing at you.
It's got no soul.
Right.
A Harley to me has a soul.
Some
He's talking to you.
romanticism. Right.
He's
It's
talking to you.
romantic. Yes, I like that. It's
And
love.
so I like pretty much all the bikes, but On that day, I like this one. On that day, I like, and that's life. I mean,
So, what's your absolute favorite song?
it's a hard one.
It is.
I like everything from the 80s, of course,
Mhm.
because there was some great stuff. I like also to work with older songs from the 40s.
Okay.
You know, the old.
Yeah, Duke Ellington, Ella Fitzgerald, that kind of
Yes,
stuff. My dad
yes.
loved that.
And relax. I work with that.
Okay.
I don't work with hard rock and stuff like that because I want to take the hammer and fucking explode it. I want to kill it. It's just it's not productive to me.
Right.
It's
Yeah, you
just
need something more
it
easy
doesn't
going.
give you any inspiration. It's
Right.
just it's me.
Right.
I have nothing against it, but
There's a time and a place for
I
everything.
want to smash the radio.
See, now I
And
listen.
rap is
See, Don, there's some rap I listen to. He likes some rap, but I listen to everything from classical all the way up. I mean,
it depends on the day.
right, exactly.
Your
And the
mood
mood.
is
Exactly.
your mood is on the left, on the right, in the middle, down, up. Then you pick the song.
He laughs. He'll come in the shop sometime. He'll go get something and come back and have the Italian cooking music on.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's just like, really? I'm like, I'm an Italian girl. What do you want? It's
Good.
inspiration.
That's
So, all right. So our next question is, who is your childhood hero and why?
I would say Steve McQueen.
Okay.
Why? Because he was on a motorcycle. He was the tough guy, and he had the good girl, and he was the winner every movies.
He was married to Ally McGraw, Steve
Yes.
McQueen. Yeah.
Yes.
And she was always the girl in his movies too,
Yeah,
for some
yeah,
reason.
yeah. But Steve McQueen had that face, that just his face was talking to you.
Yes.
He did not have to say something, although it was just his attitude.
His whole demeanor.
He was the male, the winner, the. I don't know. For me, Steve McQueen was when I was young was like one day we'll be like him.
Okay. All right, that's good. So then, who is your motorcycle hero and why?
Motorcycle heroes. There is a lot of guys who did incredible stuff on motorcycles.
Which one inspired you the most?
Maybe Roger de Coster, which is the guy who was from Belgium, who was a 5-time world champion.
Say his name again.
Roger de Coster. De Coster.
DeCosta.
Yeah.
Roger
Roger.
DeCosta.
D-E, one word. The other word is Costaer.
Oh, DeCostier. Okay.
Coster, yeah.
Stir. Roger.
And he's the guy who won the motocross 5 or 6 times, world championships. And he's the guy who's today still active and teaching guys how to ride. And everywhere he went, he produced champions.
Wow.
One of my friends here produced champions. He had
Yeah.
a school in France where he's teaching people. And I think he told me he had 6 or 7, I forget he's going to tell you, but several champions come from his school.
Neat. What's the name of his school?
He's going to tell you because I don't know.
Which one is that? What?
Thierry Bajot.
Okay.
He's a funny guy.
You guys are French. It's so hard to get that.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. It's all in the technique.
Girls love it.
They do. Okay, so what is your favorite road food?
Road food.
Yeah.
Like a roadkill? Like what you talking about?
No, like well, people take it differently. So I love you. You're so badass. What's like your favorite thing to eat on the road? Like either a snack that you bring with you, or when you're out on the road, you like a certain something. Like for me, I like all the little mom and pops places.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I like pickles and cheese. That's my thing. So
I'm not that weird, but
I love you. You can get away with that. I am very weird.
no, I try pretty much everything. I'm curious, so
Curious.
I like small places. Like when I did my trip, we went to some restaurant where there's 2 tables,
Yes, they're the best.
and it was fantastic.
Food
I
is-
went to a place. It was in Colorado. It was 2 old lady, 500 years or something like this. How many? Sit. And I'm looking at the scene, and everything is about John Wayne.
Okay.
I forget the food.
I love John Wayne.
I forget the food.
Right.
It was a frame of John Wayne on his horse.
Okay.
And I remember some saying, he said, courage is be scared to death, but go on the horse again.
Yes, that's courage.
Yeah.
Definitely. You fall off, you get back on.
And
That's-
even if you're scared,
Oh, yeah.
and then
Oh, it's always scary. It's a
Yeah.
long way down, and it's a long way up when you're sitting on the ground.
Fear is what's saving your ass,
Mhm.
because he give you some limit.
Yes.
You have to be careful for sure.
Yeah.
But I love that place because it was so typical. It was some old gun, revolvers. Everything was ready to fall because it was
That old.
from the
That's
I
the
don't know,
best.
30s,
I love
40s.
those places. I've been on the road with a couple people who are like, "No, I'm not going in there." I'm like, "Well, you can wait here because I'm going." And
Yeah.
they end up coming in and go,
And the food was
"Oh my God."
fantastic.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
always. It's the love that goes into it.
Yes.
That is exactly.
And those two mammy, it was like, and I was looking at them and I asked them, I said, how long you have that place? Well, they gave me the time, I don't remember. But they were working together for 30 something years in that place.
That is awesome.
So
That's
she's
cool.
cooking, I'm the one, I'm the boss. And that was funny because they were like 15 and 14 years old telling me, she's bad, I'm good.
That's
That was
too
fun.
funny. Okay, so what are your nobody can ever pick one. So what are your two most cherished motorcycle memories?
The one I had on the motorcycle.
Most important ones that to you that come to mind that are most memorable that you always reflect on.
A scary one is in Morocco when I missed a turn and I went to a cliff down and I had two choices. I said I put the bike down and I'm gonna go bada boom, bada boom, bada boom, 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 boom. I don't know where.
Right.
Or I stay wide open and I try to jump. I did.
You jumped?
Yeah.
You were in Morocco?
Yeah. I jumped in the emptiness. I had no freaking clue where I was landing.
And
I landed between two giant rocks, like half of a house.
oh shit.
And I saw them coming by me like this. And when I landed, the handlebar went like this. My face went to the gas tank. And something that I never understood, I cut my two knees on the foot peg. And when you sit on a bike without the seat, you cannot touch the peg with your knees.
Right.
So my body went, and
Wow.
I stopped. I fell like a freaking brick. You just landed like I don't know, maybe straight down.
My own personal evil Knievel here.
It was an accident. Straight down, I would say 25, 30 foot, and no speed. So when you land, you don't go. You just go that way. It doesn't work that way. A bike goes that way.
Yeah.
So I went that way. My face went that way also, but it was a bike there. So I made the bike very closely. Bike encounter.
Afterwards, did you wish you would have went?
No.
So you did the right thing.
But it took me a while to unbend everything and I got to get back. So that was, oh yes, I have a good memory in the desert.
I like that.
Like your mind play games with you.
It really is like that. It's not just like that in cartoons, right?
No, we are in the desert, but it's flat. It's a plateau. Flat, sand, fast, full steam, 100 miles an hour.
Okay.
And on the road book, it said, he called that a cairn. A cairn is a piece of rock.
Okay.
In the desert. And it's usually a marker, something that you can see from far. It gave you a direction. And there is that black cairn, which looks big. And it's a rock just on the sand. So you go, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and your mind goes, what the fuck is that? And you keep going, and it will become bigger and bigger and bigger. And like you go, what is it? Because there is nothing here. Who the hell put that rock here? It's the size of a house. So you go, and as I come close to that rock, my mind goes, slow down. Fear. I was freaking paralyzed of fear. I have no clue why. And I went by, and when I went by, it was a black volcanic rock coming from the sand. And it was slick like a monolith, like somebody took it and did, there is a rock here. And it was the size of a small house, maybe 30 foot tall, 30, 40 foot tall, but very slick, very weird. And at that moment, in my mind, I'm an ant inside of a bathtub,
Okay. Right.
pretty much. And that thing is the plug where I go poof, in the hole. You become stupid. And I went by, and as soon as I went by, shift down and I don't want to go back. And after I said, what happened? I said, my mind went cuckoo, because you ride 10 hours racing. So your mind is very focused, very focused. That was like very disturbing.
Yeah.
Scenery, something, the scale of it. When you are on a desert, you are the tallest thing.
Right.
The scale is there is nothing else.
Right.
That thing was the giant, impressive giant. So one evening, I just shut up. I said, you went cuckoo for a while, no big deal. Then I see an Italian guy, Di Petri. Ma che talatida mantalotole, the black thing, like, and I'm like, I'm listening and say, what happened? He said, I got fucking scared, man. And everybody. I look.
Newsflash.
Oh, man. And everybody had the same reaction. I can tell you why. But that was the story of the day, on that day.
That is crazy.
Yeah, that was.
But everybody else saw it.
And not everybody, but a lot of guys
And they were
had
fearful.
the same reaction than me.
Wow.
They came and they got scared. Why? No idea.
And that was in the Sahara Desert too? Different desert.
No, it was in the plateau somewhere in the Atlas Mountain.
That's crazy. Crazy to ride like that, to race like that for that long of a period, distance, like you said, and you're in the desert and the heat. And wow, that's pretty crazy. I like that one.
Good memories.
So if money didn't matter and you could ride anywhere in the world, anywhere you wanted on your motorcycle, where would you go and with who?
Everywhere?
Okay, that's a good one. I like that.
I would
Everywhere.
love to go everywhere.
Okay.
I would like to go in the Amazon, Australia. I think there's a lot to do.
Mhm.
Even in the US, we know US. I discovered that you can know a country from what you have, which is the grid of road. But it's a limited, it's
Right.
always the same thing.
Mhm.
But when you go by nature to the trails, it's fantastic.
I can't believe you went from Miami all the way to Portland on just dirt roads.
A good memory I have here. We go with my friend. We went in a small town. I forgot the name, but in Colorado, pretty town. We go across the town, and we see ice cream shop. So it's hot, September, and it's hot, and we see kid, and I'm like, look at my friend. I said, "Yep."
It's ice cream time.
Oh! Park the bike, 2 kids licking the ice cream on the sidewalk.
That's awesome.
There is an old man coming.
Mhm.
Yes, and he had 2 big bags, 80 something. Tall, skinny. You look at the bike, look at us. Where are you going? So I'm like, we go to Portland. Oh, from Miami? Yeah. What bike is that? So we explain. Say, oh, he said, I just sold my CRF 250 Honda
Oh,
race bike.
yeah.
It doesn't match the profile of that guy at all.
Right?
Like he was telling me, I just sold my Ducati 99. I'm like, yeah, sure, yeah. I'm listening, and I say, fucking liar. Old man. I listen to the story, and he goes, yeah, I just bought the 300 CRF Rally. I just got it 2 days ago or 3 days ago. So, sure, yeah, wow. So in my mind, I say, okay, he's on the internet, on magazine, and he's streaming.
Right.
There is no way this guy is riding a good bike. So, okay. And he goes, and we finish the ice cream, start to pack, put the helmet, and I see a guy coming, a CRF 300.
Sure shit, there he is, huh?
The old man opened the helmet. Can I go with you for a few miles?
Oh my god.
That guy made my day.
No doubt.
Because I said to my friend, I said, we are 60 years old and we do that stupid trip. We must be the oldest junk on the road.
Yep.
This guy told me, no, you can do it again. And this guy was just a joy. He had blue eyes, like headlights.
That's awesome.
And you can read, I'm happy,
Yes.
in his face. And we went he brought us to a new trail. And we made his day, he made our day.
That's so cool.
That was so freaking cool.
Right, because you inspired him to go home, get his motorcycle, and come back and go ride.
And from the get go, bullshit. This
Yeah,
guy is
right.
a-
Never judge a book by its cover. We always
Exactly.
get that.
So
for
always,
sure. Yes, definitely.
I have a picture of him.
That's
I
cool.
will send it to you.
Yeah, definitely.
And I told him, I said, open your helmet. I want to take a picture
Picture of
with
you,
us,
right.
because you made my day. I told him, you made my day.
Yeah,
And he was 77 years old or something like this.
and that's part. I'm a motor maid, and I love being part of the motor maids because I ride with ladies who are in their 90s, and they put us girls. I mean, I'm in my 50s, and they put me to shame. Even some of the girls that are in their 20s and their 30s, they'll ride 700 miles. They're ready to go get food and a cocktail at the bar. We want to go take a shower and go to bed. We're like dragging ass.
Yeah.
That was too funny. Okay, so tell us something good about yourself that others may not know.
About myself?
It's the hardest
I'm
thing to do.
beautiful. What else you want to know?
We know you're beautiful. No, we all know that. We want something that no one
I don't know what
knows.
to tell you. I think I like challenges. So I'm the stupid guy. If you say, "Can you do this?" I'm going to say yes, and try to figure out after how to make it. But that's how I made when I made the jet bike.
Mm-hmm.
I had no freaking clue what jet bike was, jet motor, and all that stuff. And the guy told me, "Can you do this?" I said, "Yeah, sure." And just send me the motor. I'll figure it out.
Right?
You know. And he sent me the motor, and I was like, "Holy crap! What did I do?" But I work well under pressure.
Yes.
If I have a challenge and there is nails all over, and that's where I'm the best.
Yes.
Because that's where I'm focused. That's where
Yeah, it keeps you on track. It keeps you on track. It keeps you in a positive forward momentum so that you're not distracted by other negative things around and you have that focus.
whatever is easy to do, it's not worth it to do.
Right.
In my mind,
Yes.
if it's hard, there is a reward.
Mm-hmm.
First, because if it's hard and you succeed, that's bonus for me. Because I knew it was hard. I made it. It's satisfaction.
Yes.
And you're gonna have people around you telling you, "Wow, you did this and this."
Yeah.
It's my
And you have people too that'll tell you, "Oh, you can't do that."
Oh, of course.
Yeah, and then that's like
Yeah,
you know,
but the
whatever.
problem is
Mhm.
there is no problem.
Yeah.
And I'm happy there is problem because the problem gives you the solution.
Well,
If there is no problem, you can find the solution. Give me problems.
you're a problem solver though. Like even when I built the pink bike and I wanted to put the struts on it, and you said you can't do it because it won't work because it moves this way and it moves that way. And I said, okay, what if I do this? And you said, oh, there, you're onto it. And I did it and it worked.
Mhm.
And it was like, you know, but you've always been that person. I like that you will be honest about the feedback.
Yeah.
You know, you won't bullshit.
I like engineering because it deals with numbers.
Yes.
And there is two things we have as a tool to work in life: alphabet
Mhm.
to count, and numbers. Numbers can't lie.
Right.
Alphabet is a freaking bullshitter.
Yeah. Right.
Huh?
Yeah.
'Cause you can
Definitely. You can mix the words
numbers
around.
2 and 2, 5. You're gonna look at me and say, "Huh?" Exactly. So I like numbers.
So, 5 good things. Tell us 5 good things.
5 good things
Five,
about
your 5 good things. 5 good things about your world right now.
food, friends, family, fun, motorcycle.
There you go. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna bring in some of Christian's racer friends. So we're gonna have send thing one out to get them. We're probably gonna get the whole crew in here and introduce them all and see what we can do here.
So I have a blast with them because they are jokers and they have the joy of life.
Right, joy is.
Never, yesterday we came back from Daytona and we had a flat tire on the trailer. I swear, usually I have a flat tire or something goes bad. Reaction of, I would say, average people. I don't want to offend anybody.
Right.
Average people. Oh,
Oh shit!
God,
Damn right.
shit. Oh, yeah. Where's the spare? Back on the road. Finished.
Right.
Positive.
So we're gonna get loud and rowdy here. So
So this guy is the guy you have the school.
yes,
Man, you
come in,
fucking
sit,
dead.
sit down. Well, actually, we're
They
gonna
had
get
the school. Combien de champions t'as formé?
J'ai eu 15 titres de champion de France.
15
Come
French
sit.
champion
Have a seat.
of motocross.
You can just step right over and have a seat. Chris is going to do the honors.
Eh bien, on va pas pouvoir parler anglais, moi je parle pas assez bien. Hein.
Pas grave, je vais traduire.
Yes.
Je vais mettre des baffes quand
Tu vas
tu
faire comme question?
Tu vas voir. So Thierry Bajot
Yeah.
is a racer.
Okay.
We met in 79.
Quoi?
Oui, on s'est rencontrés en 79.
1900.
Ça a été le coup de foudre.
1900 ici. You see, that's the kind of. He says 79 is good. Yeah, 1900.
I love it.
Bon,
So-
on y va.
He used
Je
to be.
représente la France.
Yeah.
It's me, French.
So this guy, we used to be young, stupid, and in your mind, when you are 18 years old and you try to start to race, you were a world champion because that's why you are here.
Right.
So I was world champion in my mind. He was world champion. He was world champion, and we know the first term I'm in the front. So when you have 30 guys on the grid, and everybody think I'm going to be the first one at the end, you're going to have
Je leur dis, c'est
fuck
ma
up at the end
première
of
fois.
it.
Right.
So that was the part of friends that and that's the guy you want to kill on the race,
Mhm.
but he's my buddy, and we did not see each other for 40 years.
This is so
And
awesome.
I met him. He was like I saw him yesterday. We have the same mind. the
Right.
same-
You just picked up right where you left off.
exactly.
That's the cool part. So, a little bit about your school.
Ton école de pilotage.
Oui.
So he doesn't speak English.
So, then you
Is
tell
that
us about his
retarded?
school.
See, he doesn't understand nothing.
Yeah.
So tell us, dis-nous ton école. Qu'est-ce que tu faisais?
En français?
Ah oui.
Alors à l'école, on apprenait le B.A.-BA du motocross jusqu'au niveau le plus haut possible, quoi.
So he was taking racers, and the goal was exactly to perform better. So you take every racers and you make them having laps. You look at them, you identify where they can do best, when they can do what they, how to improve the riding.
And mold them
Yes.
into better racers.
So
What's the name of the school?
c'était quoi ton nom?
Thierry Bajot, mon nom, my name.
His name,
My name.
Thierry Bajot School, Racing School.
Nice. And that's in France.
There, yes,
Yeah.
in France.
Very nice.
So he was accredited by the states as a professional teacher.
Instructor.
Yeah,
Okay.
because you can go fast on a motorcycle, but it's not because you go fast that you can teach someone.
Right.
You have to be able to vehiculate that knowledge.
Mhm.
You have to be able to identify what's not good, what's good on that person, how you ride, and make that person improve. You
Yeah.
can be just good.
Right.
So
Not everyone is talented.
No.
Not naturally talented. Right.
Et dis-leur que je dois être le seul en France à avoir autant de titres dans l'école.
yeah, he's the only one in France, maybe Europe, to have as many titles, provide any title from his school.
Wow. That is awesome.
For the first. Et après, il y a les
Oh, you
deuxièmes,
speak
troisièmes.
English, you said first.
Pour les places, for place. This just first after the second and the three.
Oh yeah, not only champ, but some years he had the number 1, number 2, number 3 in the championships come
Yes.
from him.
Nice. Very nice.
Nice.
That is very cool. So, and then we have another race.
Philip.
Here. Philip.
Come Philip
Colombian.
got it.
Switching the chairs around here. We're having some action. We're having a party night tonight.
So
Excuse-moi.
Philip is good on the motorcycle, but on his feet,
That's because we got into the wine
pas
before
mauvais
we
sur le
started
moto,
all
mais
this.
à pied comme ça.
À pied aussi.
We got into the wine.
So same case here. We met in 79.
Oui.
On s'est rencontrés en 79.
77, 78.
77.
77.
And he was racing Suzuki. I was
Yes.
racing Beta back then.
Beta.
And we raced the championships together, so the kids. And we had a lot of stories, you are a kid, you have no money. The only thing you want to do is race.
Right.
So everything you do during the weeks is, grabbing some dollars to put gas in the freaking bike or thing to go race. That's all. That's all you want to do.
Now,
That was our life.
who's the better racer out of the three of you?
I'm the world champion. He's the world champion. He's the world champion.
So we have 3 world champions
Yeah.
in one room. I
I'm
love
faster than him, and he's faster than me. If you talk to me, I'm faster. But if you talk to him, he's faster than me.
it. Right.
Hein?
Quoi?
Said, who's the fastest? Qui c'est le plus rapide entre nous trois? Alors
Ça
j'ai
dépend
dit,
des
on est
jours.
tous les 3 champions du monde. Si tu lui demandes à lui, il est plus rapide que moi. Si tu me demandes à moi, je suis plus rapide que lui. Si tu demandes à lui, c'est vrai.
I wish I understood French because that would make it easier. Don speaks very little, but he speaks French. He thought it would get him somewhere with the ladies in school, but epic fail because women don't speak French.
Je suis champion des cabanes en bois aussi.
Hein?
Cabanes perchées aussi.
Oh yeah, so this gentleman, in his professional career, is a fantastic craftsman because he's one of the few who can repair or restore furniture from the 15th century.
Wow.
Quel siècle?
Donc, quoi, les restaurations de meubles
Ouais. De quel siècle les meubles de boule?
17e.
1700. So there is a particular
18e aussi, ouais, 19e.
there is a particular famous furniture maker, Versailles
Okay.
furniture, you
Yeah.
know, with very intricate, where a furniture
Yeah,
that
all the
big
paws,
is 200,
feet, and all the
300,000.
yeah, and all the
He's the one who have the right. He went to school and learned that
to
art.
restore it. Wow.
to make them.
That is an art. That is
Yes.
definitely an art form.
So
We're
he's-
all
Et
artists.
Tree House aussi. Tree
Ouais.
House.
So he's the guy who one day had his, he had a big place,
Yeah.
a lot of space in trees. He made a house in the trees, but it was a house, not a tree house like you know. It was a tree house with bathroom,
All of it.
toilet.
Everything.
Right.
That's
It's a
cool.
wedding house.
It was beautiful,
That is so
beautiful,
neat.
beautiful.
So he's the French version of Tarzan.
Yes, c'est le français c'est le Tarzan en France.
C'est ça.
Tarzan français.
I love it. I love it. Your son is here also, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. He's-
Yeah, my son is here, and he did not ride motorcycle like we do.
But they do both of your sons do some very interesting work.
They are in professional life. They are a mechanical engineer.
Mhm.
I don't know why, but
Product of your environment.
Maybe.
That's why.
and my son is actually working on the machine on parts like I described before. And actually, there is some parts that on the rocket ship going
What's
in
going
space, Artemis.
Uh-huh.
He did it.
on? Really? That is fantastic.
I think
So then you guys got the real tour at the Space Center when you went.
Yeah.
That's
that was
great-
yesterday. That was cool.
Yeah, the backstage version, right?
cool,
The
that
things
was
nobody
cool.
gets to see.
That was cool.
Well, thank you so much for coming. I greatly appreciate it. Hey, that's it. They're turning flashing the lights on you. That's it.
They are
That's
French.
it.
Be careful.
That's it. Yeah, French, be careful. All right. So I appreciate it. I thank you so much for being here. Thank you for bringing your friends too.
We
And-
love you. You know that. I
and
know you
love
for.
forever. We go back a long time. We gotta get out and go riding a little bit.
Well, yeah,
I'm ready.
Well,
I'm learning how to ride on gravel. I did Route 66 from Chicago to. Tom told you I myself and Gypsy were the mechanics for 40 women that went Route 66. I'll fill you in on all that for sure.
Ils ont fait la route 66.
Ah oui?
Elle était la mécanicienne pour 40
yes.
femmes.
Alors, il faut lui expliquer que Christophe de Gaulen, avec une Harley Davidson de 1917, a fait la route 66 avec un sidecar de 1917 qui l'a ramené du château de Gaulen. Il l'a fait ici. Et il est passé à la télé d'ailleurs.
Yeah, we have a friend who did the road 66 with a Harley Davidson from 1917 sidecar,
Yes.
and that Harley is in. Elle est au musée de chez Harley. Elle est où?
Harley Davidson Museum.
Alors, elle est restée ici, ouais.
So, and
C'était-
the first Cannonball, I was the mechanic to the all-girl crew. I worked on a 1915 for Chris Summer Simmons. I was her mechanic and we went from Kitty Hawk, North Carolina to Santa Monica, California.
So ils font des trips aussi, et elle, elle est en charge de tout ça. Avec
Ah oui.
ouais.
Yeah. Yeah. I
40 bonnes femmes.
love motorcycles. Love motorcycles. Well, thank you so much. Mwah. I'm going to let
Thank
you
you.
guys out.
Thank you
I'm going to
very
put the show to a close, and I will be out shortly.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. This was definitely fun. Well, how's that for having a house full of mad Frenchmen? I am like so excited. Christian is one of our closest friends. He's family, and he's just amazing. He inspires me. I want to go to the shop right now and go make something. How incredible is that? So, tonight I'm going to tell you my 5 good things. My 5 good things are my family, my friends, my resolve, my opportunity to enjoy nature. I have a bluebird that visits me every day on my mailbox. And today I've got a feeder and I hung it up for him. So hopefully he's going to bring his birdie friends. But we talk every day and he's super cool. So he's number 4 for me. And then, of course, being right here, right now, doing this little show with all of you. I had an amazing time tonight. I don't know where we are on time. Probably way over, I'm sure, because we are having fun. My afterthought. So my afterthought is brief. Consideration. Consideration is a big thing. A lot of people don't really stop to think about how considerate you are to yourself and to others. Consideration is usually measured by an effort or something that you do for others, but really it's about forethought. Forethought to see something and react to it in a positive way. That's my version of consideration. So today, tonight, tomorrow, this week, this month, if you can be considerate, again, to yourself, be considerate to others, listen to people around you. That's a huge consideration. And then remember, everybody else has a story that they're living. It's their own. And you can't walk in anybody else's shoes. You got to walk in your own. But sometimes you need to think about where others might be walking before you do something or say something, and just be considerate. All right. And then, of course, make sure you smile big. Do it for yourself, not for one group or one person, but for yourself. It matters. Be kind to yourself and to others. That matters too. Thanks for following us. Follow us on Facebook. Sign up and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And drop us a line at athenaafterdark@aol.com. Send us your 5 good things, your questions, and any suggestions, positive, that you have about what we're doing here, any changes you'd like to see. And let me know what you thought about our first in-studio live guest, because we might be going that way. We'll see what the future brings. Thing One did an awesome job tonight. Yay, Thing One. Thank you. All right, everybody, have a great evening. Chopper on. Love you all, and I will see you next week. 10 p.m. Monday. Felicia Morgan is our guest. Yay! All right. Night.